The first time you try something new, it can be exciting, or it can be terrifying, or just plain awkward. But let's just face it, most of the big firsts, the ones that we all go through, seem like they'll be great in theory, only to result in yet another awkward moment. So right now, let's relive all the embarrassment with 13 of the most awkward firsts right here unlisted. When you're single, meeting that little special someone is on your mind more often than it's not. So you visualize the first date with every hot guy or girl you swipe right to on Tinder. First dates in your head, they're romantic or deliriously fun, but first dates in real life are just sitting around a crowded coffee shop asking each other the same 10 questions you've asked everybody else you ever go on a date with, and not trying to zone out and think about all the junk food you're going to eat as soon as it's all over. You spend a lot of time thinking about your first kiss with someone new. In your imagination, it's romantic and it's perfect and there are fireworks and orchestra music. But in reality, you find yourself thinking things like, whoa, do you even own chapstick? And oh my gosh, why is this kiss so wet? He's not even using his tongue in this. Another great one is, where is all this moisture coming from? But let's back this up. Before you're swiping on Tinder and kissing lots of new people and going all first base on everyone, you were in high school or college getting really serious with another person for the very first time. Yep, we're talking about your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend, people. It's exciting and in retrospect, kind of adorable, but everything about a first relationship is always so awkward, and you're bound to find yourself thinking, at least once, this is what I was so excited to get myself into. And if you manage to make it past the first kiss, you probably will move on to another dating first the first time you do it. You expect romance and a passionate love scene like Allie and Noah in The Notebook, but when you generally get it the first time with someone new, it always seems to be more like the virgins fumbling through sex in American Pie, no matter how many times you've had sex before. No matter if you're starting kindergarten or grad school, the first day of school is always pretty nerve-wracking. You're wandering around totally unsure of where you should be or how to get there, and at the same time, you're expected to make a really awesome first impression, get on your teacher's good side, and make new lifelong friends. Not a big deal. But ladies actually have some terrible firsts that guys don't ever have to worry about, and other firsts that we face way sooner than boys. Like the first time you go to a doctor to have your thing checked out. For girls, this is an appointment that usually happens early on in your teens, but you barely even know what's going on down there while you listen to a professional evaluate your sitch and get all up in your grill. Another fun first exclusive to the ladies is the first menstrual cycle, aka the period, aka the worst thing to ever happen to women in the history. I'm just kidding, that wasn't the worst, but it's pretty bad. And while the periods never really get that much better as you get older, the first one is by far the worst. One day you're a carefree kid and the next day you're bleeding from your hoo-ha and everybody's calling you a woman all of a sudden. Practically all it means is that you can only buy dark wash jeans from now on and black panties. Everybody has bad fashion days, we all know that, but the first time your clothes majorly turn against you is completely awkward, guys. Maybe your top isn't fully buttoned, maybe the zipper on your jeans just refuses to stay up, maybe there's an unfortunate tear in the back of your pants. Whatever the malfunction, the awkwardness, it's pretty much the same. Either way, you're thinking about a deep, deep hole that you would really love to crawl into for the rest of your life. A lot of people would rather avoid ever farting around another human being. But that's not really a realistic expectation, now is it? Letting one of those little bad boys slip out in public is bound to happen at least once in your life. And the first time it does, it can feel like the end of the freaking world. You might think that all anyone who heard your toot will ever think about for the rest of your time here on Earth is your accidental fart, but the truth is, most people will forget about it as soon as the smell goes away. When you start the transition from carefree youth to real life adult, you have to make some changes. You have to take on more responsibility, you have to move out from under your parents' wing, and get one of those JOBs. As bad as having a job is, getting one can be even worse because it hinges on the dreaded interview process. You're so focused on smiling, sitting up straight and wondering if you have enough extra copies of your resume on hand that you miss important questions like, so why did you want this job? Is that not obvious? Because girl, I need some new shoes and I gotta pay my rent. When you're out of shape, nothing is more intimidating than going to the gym. It's a double-edged sword. You can't get in shape without working out, and you're too embarrassed to work out when you're so out of shape. When you eventually suck it up and get a gym membership, know that you've taken the very first important step of being an adult. But there is a learning curve that comes with getting used to the complicated equipment in a gym, especially the weights. If you don't find yourself thinking, wait, am I supposed to try to move this weight with my hand or my foot or my mouth at least once, you're basically a workout savant. If you thought working out at the gym for the first time was really awkward, try taking a new workout class for the first time. Dance cardio classes look awesome from the window looking in, but the first day you set foot on the mat yourself and realize that everybody but you already knows the choreography, you're going to feel like you're having some sort of attack. And to top it all off, we know that all firsts have the potential for major awkwardness, but the ones involving matters of the heart are by far the most awkward of them all. When you've gotten past the first date, the first kiss, the first sexy sleepover, and even labeling the relationship, you still have a big, majorly awkward first ahead of you. The first time you meet each other's parents.
Just simply, just into a little saucer, and then took the saucer and fed it to Geppetto. That's what I named him, Geppetto.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
You're saying, of course I'll come join your knitting circle, Mrs. Future Mother-in-Law. But you're really thinking, damn, now I have to go learn to knit. There goes that guy. I wonder if my Tinder matches will still be there when I reactivate my account after this. And another tip from someone who's been through a lot of firsts, you probably don't want to talk about the first time you had sex with a guy or girl in front of their mom or dad. That's just like a fun tip. So, now that we've concluded our list of 13 most awkward firsts together, I'm dying to know which of these firsts was the most awkward for you, and did we miss a totally awkward first that should have been on this list? If so, head in the comment section below and let us know. Click left to see last week's episode where we stuffed our pants with weird things, or click right to see our hidden talents of blowing things through pantyhose.